And we're live.
Cue the trumpets and the dancing girls.
If only, and no trophy, no trophy tonight. Unless he turns up, of course. He is operating on apparently Australian time. So if he turns
Australian
up,
Standard Time.
yeah, if he's likely to turn up, he'll turn up relatively soon. But we shall see. We shall see.
Last couple appearances I noticed were a bit earlier.
Yeah, he's not been up to much. He hasn't, but I wonder if he just decided he got tired of being a troll when no one was interested. Anyway, first topic for the night, the SPJ Ethics Choice. They've sorted out, if you haven't heard of it, they sorted a shortlist consisting of Jennifer Dorr, Oliver Campbell.
Now, I was going to say real quick before it, would you, just in case, I'm sure everybody here knows what the hell's going on, but give a little background as
of course.
Yes.
All right, so some of the people behind the SPJ Ethics Code, one of the codes that we've been trumpeting as the go-to for sourcing your ethical standards, has decided that maybe it'd be a good idea to investigate GamerGate after we basically hijacked their tag, and then later that hijack got destroyed by a bunch of asshole trolls or I-teamers or whatever. But someone was posting shit tons of gore and porn and gore porn. So yeah.
The usual gang of idiots.
Yes, exactly. So moving on from there, they've finally announced their short list consisting of Jennifer Dorr, Oliver Campbell, Milo Yiannopoulos, Kathy Young, Brad Wardell, Christina Hoff Summers, William Usher, and Mark Sebb. And yes, if you're wondering who Mark Sebb is, you are not alone. I don't know who he is either.
Well, I'll look him up real quick, but in the meantime, the only thing I know about what's going on is that all these people are not going to be on the same panel. They're broken up. I think it's like 2 people per panel, and there's different panels.
That makes sense. There'd be a lot of people to get talking. I'm not sure what the AGG side is going on. They really haven't spent much time talking about it. They seem reluctant to discuss it. And from a quick search, Mark Sebb is known as Action PDS. He's a freelance illustrator, comic maker, citizen reporter, has done videos, and is apparently a game design enthusiast, whatever that means, and works for a publication called Gather Your Party.
Oh, I know those guys, kind of. I read that site.
Yeah, so...
excellent, somebody's heard of them.
Yes, you can inform us.
There's not, I don't... It's just like... okay, small game site, I guess. I don't really know much about the history of it or anything.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to have any particular focus, just glancing over it quickly. It doesn't seem to be as you might expect to be a tabletop RPG focused site. Seems to be more of a general catch-all. But yeah, I'm not quite sure why he made the shortlist, but there he is. Now, for my own personal choice, I wouldn't have necessarily gone with Milo or Christina. Would have preferred maybe Alistair and Professor Nick Flor, but overall I'm pretty happy with the choices. This is all, of course, dependent on them actually accepting it, but we shall see. Seeing as not going to be one major panel, it's all going to be done over the internet. It shouldn't be impossible for it to be fit into each individual schedule reasonably effectively.
Well, I admit the internet makes it easier to coordinate these sorts of things, logistically, but I still don't really care for the quality of most video conferencing and the talking over, the echoes, the
Mm,
delay. Yeah.
yeah, certainly it's something to consider with this. Admittedly, maybe the free four-man format might reduce that effect somewhat, provided there's a decent enough moderator going on. But it could prove to contribute to poor quality ultimately, which would
Well,
be
one would
upsetting.
hope they can at least pimp for, some decent bandwidth, for Christ's sake.
Oh god, yes. That'd be awful if they just had really, really shitty bandwidth.
I mean, we don't need medical quality, video, but Christ, let's have something better than a $10 Microsoft webcam.
Yeah. That will be interesting. uh, anyway, for those who are interested, I will post a link to the stream if you haven't seen it here.
Good God, this is slow.
Just remember the standard YouTube caveats regarding links.
Ugh,
Because YouTube hates links for some reason.
God, this fucking lag.
And someone's getting a phone call.
Yeah. I'm sure you recognize my phone.
I have not heard one of those phones in a while.
That is a genuine Ma Bell that is more metal than plastic.
Ah, so you could beat someone to death with it.
Yep, just like the IBM mechanical keyboards.
Useful for not only typing, but for killing someone when needed.
Unfortunately, it's a rotary phone, so you can't dial out on you can't use it to dial out on voice over IP. And since the phone company switched over entirely to digital signaling, you can't. It no longer recognizes the old clicks anyway.
Ugh. Yeah.
But it still works great to receive calls on. All right, we were just SPJ.
Yeah.
Nick Moore, I don't know a lot about, but just based on the limited exposure I had, I would certainly have picked him before Milo or Summers. And I've had quite a bit of exposure to Milo and Summers, and I like both of them. But Floor just
Mm, mm.
closed.
Admittedly, I have seen some relatively convincing arguments in their favor. I mean, both are extremely experienced in this kind of deal. Both have, yeah, as you can tell for Milo, he's done this before.
This
As
is not his
have,
first
uh,
rodeo.
yeah, Christina Hoff Summers has done this, well, for longer, literally longer than I've been alive. So which gives you some indication of my own age. But she's been doing this longer than I've been alive, so you've got to consider that as well, which would be useful to have, even if in Christina's case the experience is more on the anti-SJW feminist side of the GamerGate equation, and Milo is, well, as he would say himself, a bit of a hot-blooded Mediterranean fellow.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the criticisms of Milo that I saw in the comments in the Kia comments after the lad debate. Like
Mm.
some of those were quite on point.
I would actually really agree with that. There are quite a great deal of issues I had with his lad debate. Interesting though it was.
Yes, interesting, entertaining, but yeah, it's like, I mean, anybody can armchair quarterback, but or backseat drive, but yeah, I still believe, and a lot of people seem to concur, that Milo missed the mark, or could have been more on point.
Mm, definitely, I would definitely say so. Though, of course, the question is, The question is, of course, whether or not that is at least in part due to a relatively weak moderator in that discussion.
Well, in that respect, when you've only got two people
Mm.
debating, arguably I don't think you need much, and I think she just exactly did as much of a job as she could be doing, mostly stayed out of the way.
Mm. Yeah, it's something to consider nonetheless.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who he'd eventually end up getting paired with in this case. Maybe Summers or Kathy Young. But it's hard to tell.
Since you mentioned the anti-side has not ponied anybody up yet.
Yeah,
I mean,
I suspect they're
regardless of
gonna.
who's going to debate them, it raises the question of who's going to moderate.
I suspect the moderators themselves would be the SPJ guys. I mean, they're the ones people are trying to make a case to. So.
And what format are they going to use? I mean, is this? It would be nice, he says in that pedantic tone, rolling his eyes. It would be nice to actually have a real debate.
I've got my friend. My friend came in. I didn't
Hello.
expect that. Hello,
Oh,
Gilius.
my friend is
Hello.
here. Hello.
Howdy.
This is a friend I've known for about 2 or 3 years, and he's actually the one who found GamerGate, or rather the beginnings of it, for me and sent me the original IA vids. So, yeah, he's the reason I'm here at all, to be honest, because I wouldn't have bloody noticed it otherwise. Let me just, let's see. There we go. Yes, we're just discussing the SPJ AirPlay panel and their shortlist, which I'm not sure if you saw, but comprises of Jennifer Dorr, Oliver Campbell, Milo Yiannopoulos, Kathy Young, Brad Wardell, Christina Hoff Summers, William Usher, and Mark Sepp.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I am interested in how Mark Seb was chosen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I was looking at the comments pretty carefully.
Yes.
from what I understand, it was a personal choice. I believe. I believe they actually just chucked him in here. I don't think he was ever considered by any GamerGate fellas, at least as far as the discussions I've seen have gone.
Just a second. I just have to test my mic. So if I go silent, it's because I'm resetting my mic. I just have to be sure about something. So let's see if I actually go mute.
Word.
Yeah. Mark Seb's the interesting one because I've heard theories that he's basically a test to see what GamerGate will put up with, and so on and so forth. But no one.
How we would react to somebody who's not very relevant, it seems, or what?
Yes, basically, someone who seems to be relatively irrelevant.
If he's meant to be neutral, then that would seem to that would be fine. That would seem to be the sensible approach.
Yeah, but just from a quick look at his Twitter account, he seems to be hardly neutral unless he's got some sort of promise to be.
I hadn't looked. What sort of?
It's back.
Yes,
back?
yes, it is.
All right. Yeah, I have to make sure it's my headset mic that Google uses because there's some weird thing with my webcam mic that causes my computer to crash. So
Oh no!
I have to make sure that it's not that mic that's being used.
Yes, as you can tell, Gillis is the only one of us who has an actual avatar and is not using either throwaway accounts or accounts we do not give a shit about to configure.
Oh yeah, I represent myself. And it's
this name is not a throwaway.
If you say so.
This name was carefully chosen. I have gone by this name for years.
Mark Seb is GamerGate, but it's like I only know very little of him because some of the people I've talked to have interacted with him. But it's like, yeah, when you look at that list, everyone seems to be like some like some name that has a lot of interactions. And then I said Mark Seb is like low, but he is GamerGate. It's just that he obviously is not as widely known as others. Which also makes wonder why he's there, because it seems like everyone there has some kind of like mass, not mass reputation.
Hmm. Possibly it could have something to do with a GamerGate operations manual that was being chucked around, apparently, because he's got it pinned to his Twitter feed. But
I mean, I don't know his personal achievements. As I said, I know him very cursorily. I mean, I've spoken with the person. That's how
yeah,
I know he is GamerGate. I've spoken with him in person.
yeah, yeah.
But it's like if you, G-Man, were on that list, I'd be like, well, I know you personally, but I'd still be like, how the fuck did you get on it?
I would be very confused if I was on it, seeing as I've done nothing of relative note. But
He
I
has
just couldn't
I think he
remember
does. He
who were
does
the
a
people who chose the people on this list.
he does a stream or thing. I'm like, again, I've only spoken with him a few times in relative to other gamergaters, and like I think he does like some kind of podcast or stream or something. I watch him listening to this, being like, "Hey, I can't believe you forgot what I do," but I'm sorry, it's just I don't remember every little detail of everybody, you know.
yeah,
A
yeah.
lot of yeah.
I sometimes forget,
So who chose the people on this list again?
I believe it was shortlist. They shortlisted them, but I think most of the contributions come from us. Like Mark Seb is the only one that hasn't come from channels. Like the KIA threads mostly contain Jennifer Dorr, Oliver Campbell, and so on and so forth. He's the only one that hasn't really been proposed by us. But so it's an open question whether or not they said, "Yeah, we'll pick those" because they're saying they want those, or they said, "Oh, we'll just pick those," and it's just a happy coincidence.
Okay, refresh my memory again. I thought Kotaku in Action was basically through rough consensus picked a group of people, and
Yes.
that group of people were going to choose the people who went to the SPJ panel. Okay.
Yes, I believe what happened is that we shortlisted. The first fuck up was we tried to just go straight into a straw poll, which basically cocked up the whole thing. Then we got a bit more organized and made it a bit more formal, and basically started listing candidates, disqualifying them based off if they could do it or not, if they were present, and then did a straw poll to vote on the remainder, and then we presented that list. I'm not of course, whether or not they paid any attention to that list is open question.
Yeah.
But that is how it was done. So yeah. Ultimately, I think a lot of people are actually quite pleased with from what I've seen, quite pleased with the results. Like no one's crying foul, so to speak. At least as far as I can tell.
Hello to everyone in Shitkia said. Beamform
Yes.
versus me.
Yes, you are famous, Beamform. Yes, that makes you an e-celeb.
Who's an e-celeb now?
Someone in the
Oh, wait a minute. He might think... Well, because you just said his name too, now he might think you're me. No. No, I'm Batman Well.
Yes, he's Batman Well. Yeah. Anyway, ultimately, the second question of this topic is, what do you think it'll do in terms of effects? I mean, I've heard theories that ranging from it'll be a complete total victory to it might fuck us over long term by creating a bunch of leaders.
I don't think it will cause fuck. I mean, these people don't become official leaders, and especially if this is for the SPJ, right? So yeah, these people like how these groups operate. They just take these people as spokespersons, and spokespersons are plug and play, literally. So it's not like suddenly, oh, these 7 or 8 or 6 or 8 people are suddenly official representatives, and they're always gonna get tagged for GamerGate afterwards.
Mm,
That's not how people in the outside world operate.
mm. Of course, but as always, there are always worries of co-option and leaderism and so on and so forth.
And we had that in the past. King of Pole Stream was popular. We had Internet Aristocrat, which was like sort of a de facto leader, and we survived all that drama that spawned from those.
Mm, sure.
I
Yeah.
mean, I
Anyway.
contend the problem isn't people being leaders. The problem is people trying to make themselves leaders when no one cares what they think.
Yeah, but amongst those on the list, if you look at who they are, Usher has his job. Jennifer Daw is a game dev. Brad Wardell is a fucking double A, almost triple A studio president, CEO. Milo is basically a right wing journalist. So it's not like these people
Yeah,
want to become the leaders of
almost
Gamergate.
almost all of these people have
Yeah.
leaders.
Summers,
Have
yeah.
jobs.
Yeah, Summers
Big.
and Kathy Young are basically
Yeah.
old school classical feminists who are raging against modern feminists. So
Mm.
yeah, they all have day jobs. None of them want to usurp Gamergate. Maybe Milo, but only as a big joke.
Yeah. The only ones I would say are possibly Oliver and Mark. Again,
Yeah.
Mark because I don't actually know him, and Oliver because I'm not sure if he has anything outside of this. And
As a way to find cute.
Yeah.
yeah.
But here's the thing. If you go like not devil's advocate, sorry, but
Milo
worst
is
case scenario.
Milo is using.
Sorry.
Hello.
Hello. Your mic
Okay.
went out. You were like mid sentence.
Okay.
Got shut down.
Yeah, looks like the cat probably killed his power supply or something
So he'll be back.
silly like that.
So I'm going so the only said the two people you said who could is probably Oliver Campbell or Mark. But like even if they try, like, I'm not saying they will. I'm just saying like worst case scenario, if they try, can they? I mean, no one wants to take that. Like no one takes them more seriously than they are. I mean, heck, some people don't even know who fucking Mark Seb is. So that goes far. No offense to the guy, but people don't even know who you are.
Yeah. That works to the favor not being leader co-opted in any case.
Yeah.
Because no one knows who Mark is.
Yeah. And Oliver Campbell, everyone knows who Oliver Campbell is, so that works both ways, ironically. Listen, everyone else there has like actual day jobs, and as I said, Milo is like sort of taking this to his own advantage, but not as a leader or anything. He literally is a Breitbart news article,
Just
basically, taking his opportunity.
Yeah, that largely seems to be. Oh.
What's so funny?
Oh, just in IRC, people are saying invite Shilladane, Matt, Ralph, and Cop. Yeah, I suspect it's Synthivine,
Oh, okay.
but I'm not sure about that.
Anyways, we don't have to worry. Although just like in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, where the president of the universe is actually not the president, but some guy who makes sandwiches, the leader of Gamergate is probably like, it's probably like me. No one knows. I'm just pretending I'm not in charge, but really pulling the strings behind the schemes.
No. It's obviously Theoden. Hail Triangle.
Yes, Hail Triangle. Adrian, yes.
triangles intensifies.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, this is when you find out it's basically all Theoden.
No, the truth is, this is like Deus Ex. It's actually a council of 12. Me, Theodrin, G-Man here's in it. He just doesn't want to admit it. G-Man's like Everett. I'm Bob Page.
Yeah. So apparently Bat's mic has died.
I represent Montreal, so.
Oh, the thing is, it actually does work. That's the scary thing. No, it seems Batman Wells' mic, or Non-Servitor's mic, has completely crashed. And he's trying to fix it, or at least, hopefully.
I was curious what he was about to say.
Yeah, it was probably riveting. Probably relatively interesting. I seem to be saying that word a lot. Anyway,
Who's our man in San Francisco, though?
it's a dead
man.
zone.
Oh man, watch someone watching this stream and they all start saying like, "Oh no, GG Secret Cabal speaking openly," and they all go right with it.
Yeah, that would
Tomorrow
be
at
weird.
midnight, Anita's getting pantsed. But
No, alright, so not talking about failures, because from what the consensus seems to be that there is no failure state, provided people keep their spaghetti in their pockets. Difficult task, considering who we're asking, but not impossible.
But I don't think we have that problem. Like, who on that list is likely to spread spaghetti?
Yeah, that's the positive thing. Is these aren't obvious spaghetti spillers. Not, or at least they're all relatively professional. So, that seems to be a point in their favor. They're all
None of them are
professionals.
absolute nobodies that no one's heard of.
Yes.
And even like worst case scenario, if one of them is, because if you look at the ones we know by name, I mean, even Milo, who's a bit of a pot stirrer, if you actually watch him on BBC's or like where he actually is like doing something professional, he's not as much of a Yahoo as he is on Twitter.
Yeah.
So it's like, and you know, almost everyone else on that list is fucking serious. I mean, who's on the list? Is Oliver Campbell on the list?
Yes, Oliver is on the list.
And we have Mark said, but it's like, even if like one or two or three people there for some stupid reason start spilling spaghetti, it's not the end of the world. You have 8 people for a reason, you know.
Yeah. That again. That's it's a good thing. It should prevent spaghetti spilling, which has always been a bit of a problem with these sorts of things. Anyway, positive sides. Let's think positively. We don't do that often enough. From what I've heard, some of the predicted positives is that it does somewhat abate the media onslaught that GamerGate's been under. Won't completely mitigated it, but it's hard to argue against the fact that we're at least in part about ethics, unless when you've got the SPJ sort of siding with you, or at least talking to you.
Yeah.
And especially considering it seems like their antis seem to be no-showing.
Wait. So this SPJ event, the anti-GG isn't sending no one.
I've heard of no one being chosen or selected. Now, whether or not
even amongst the journals, like Kotaku's not going to send a guy there to be like defend themselves or something.
No, apparently not. Like, again, if they're sending anyone, they're not revealing it. Seems to be the case.
Hope they send Kuchera. He retired.
I thought he was fired.
Fired. Oh, so the infamous "I'm taking a break away from gaming" is just the cover for he got shot out of the cannon?
Yeah, from what I understand. Yeah, basically he apparently got fired.
First half of my dream came true. My second half is Ben Ventura loses his shit and runs down the street naked, going "Ah!" and I'm happy. Like that's the two things I want out of the movie.
Yeah. At least half the reason I've heard that they're no showing is because it even entertains the idea that it's not all about harassment. Stupid. It's basically it. If they entertain anything other than that, it really
Oh wow, I like these guys. We're not gonna show up because if we do, we're negotiating with Terrorists. It seems like
That seems to be the logic, yes.
oh man, someone should probably explain to them how insignificant they are.
Ah. Actually, that's not a bad point, but... Apparently, yes, we rape people via the internet. It's a growing problem. Internet rape. No, no, you just look at it and, no, kind of tied in really, but, recently I hear that Wikipedia is trying to push to, change the name of the Wikipedia article on GamerGate to, the GamerGate harassment campaign. And, weird coincidence, but it started around about the same time the SPJ stuff was, starting to crystallize.
You know what I think is funny is they think the SPJ looks at Wikipedia articles. Okay, in case anti-GG is listening to the stream, I hope at least one of them is. I'm going to give you a little bit of the real world information for you anti-GGers out there who might be listening to this. The real world, Wikipedia is not a source. If you actually source Wikipedia, people laugh at you, right? I mean, we gamers, we love to go to Wikipedia because we're fucking lazy. It's a nice compilation of information. It's laziness, but it's not a real source of information. So if you think you're going to influence the SPJ with a Wikipedia article, I need to take a drink.
Remember, this is the same Wikipedia article that sources BuzzFeed as a reliable source, so it can't be all that useful.
A reliable source is a reliable source is a reliable source.
Pretty much, that's how it works. It's a reliable source until we say it's not.
It's a reliable source if it's cited by other reliable sources.
Mm-hmm. Of course, that always begs the question, what was the first reliable source?
Yeah. My favorite is when Wikipedia has links to articles that don't exist anymore, and I'm like, and then I look when those articles cease to exist, and they cease to exist before Wikipedia used the article. I'm like, how did you?
Yeah.
Wait, I'm gonna. Yeah, I don't even want to know at this point.
Yeah.
Well, that said, like, I think we're all guilty of using Wikipedia, but there's like a difference between someone being like, "Oh, I'm just gonna fucking Wikipedia it because I want information quickly," versus I'm gonna use this for my fucking thesis.
No, I put him on my blacklist.
Yeah, I would not use it for a thesis. I'd use it as a starting point, maybe. Maybe.
I put him on the fucking blacklist with Google, man.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah. No.
You guys, I know why you probably don't use Google, but I'm curious what you use as a search engine instead.
Mainly these days I've been using Bing, but just like before I boycotted Google, I've been using a whole variety of them.
Which of Google's sin finally pushed you over the edge? I mean, there's so many. I'm usually curious which one is the tipping point.
Plus, minus, and quotes not working.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, it being useless.
I mean, yeah, they're trying to pass off as a monopoly on this kind of shit. If you're gonna have a monopoly, at least offer a good service, you fuckwits.
Yeah. Although I hear their internet is better, though apparently that's like saying.
Speaking of like taking it to the big companies, a few days ago I was like, and I was with like it's someone else like we were tweeting at Microsoft about how much RAM Skype uses.
Oh man, Skype.
I was comparing it to Crisis 3.
Ah, yes, of course we should be kind and chill out if you hate Reddit. Oh, sorry, not hate Google. There's always reddit.com/fuck-Google or The Vote at the same location.
More or less.
Yeah. And weirdly, the Vote, in a weird way, has more subscriptions.
I thought it was hilarious when it passed the number of subscribers on Reddit.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not surprised that. I bet that was weird.
And it regularly multiple posts from Google make the front page of Vote. The only reason it hasn't in the last couple of days is all the extra Reddit drama, to the point where like 75% of the posts on the front page of Vote are from the sub Vote. Meanwhile, on Reddit.
Yes. Seeing as people wanted it, here is Sarah Butts, also known as SRH Butts, ED page.
Hilariously speaking, though, I think the irony here we are like hating on Google while we're using Google Hangouts. I think it's kind of funny.
No, it's the easiest way.
Obviously,
I created this account specifically for the Chromebook I got as a present before I boycotted Google, so it's still sitting here. But God, why did you throw that up? You clicked it! You can't unclick it!
Pretty much. There's really no unclicking that. Oh, okay, that actually does minimize it. I was kind of wondering. Anyway, this is obviously Sarah Butts' ED page. Anyway,
And you felt like sticking that in my eye. Why?
blame split, alright? If you want to blame someone, blame him. Because he wanted it presented to everyone. So yeah, deal with it.
Get paid to shitpost in a stream.
Yeah, anyway, no,
where do these people come from? Like, this is one question I've always asked since August, right? These anti-GG people, where do they come from? I mean,
The American education system.
because
Rumor has it the stork brought them.
yeah, because I live in Quebec, right? We have really dumb people here, and like when I see these anti-GGs behave, I'm like, you know what? I'd rather just fucking roll down Barry in my underpants. It's probably going to be a less retarded experience.
yeah. I'm not quite sure where they come from, to be honest.
A lot of them were already internet famous for being trolls and spaghetti throwers.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Is what I've heard. I haven't been that heavily into the internet, but most of their histories were already, pretty well known before this.
So they're basically internet idiots.
Pretty much. That pretty much seems to be the summation of it.
I mean, that is the old something awful tagline. The internet makes you stupid.
Yeah, they're right on that account. Anyway, let's see. What's the... goons.
Actually, yeah, I sound like Joel Biafra with my normal speaking voice, but I do a really mean Harlan Ellison. Fuck Dr. Shed! You want to see me lose half the audience right now? Star Wars is the stupidest piece of shit ever!
Yeah.
Did Ellison actually say that?
Yes.
Alright, awesome.
Okie dokie. Anyway, seeing as that topic seems to be relatively exhausted, the side topics for tonight are...
Ellison thinks that Star Wars is shit. I don't know, I think that topic just got started.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah, well, I'll dig up the link I posted to. I digitized that old cassette tape and posted it online a while back. I'll dig that up.
All right. Sorry,
Yeah.
go ahead.
No. Oh no, it's basically a retrospective. It's been pretty much 9 months. We've only got 3 more months and we'll make a year.
I'm still waiting for the first GamerGate babies. I'm pretty sure some people shanged in GamerGate. So we have the first generation of GamerGate babies showing up soon.
Oh, that's horrifying, man. It's mildly horrifying. No, it's been 9 months.
Hashtag kill all nerds.
What progress do you think? What's the progress? Has GamerGate accomplished stuff? And is it effective?
I say yes.
Yeah, I actually kind of agree there. even sites that don't want to acknowledge GG, even they have had to.
Even small sites like this is like I'm not gonna mention them by name because I don't want to like draw attention to the poor bastards. But it's like small like blogging site, fully independent, had a bit of a basically their lead, and I think personally he doesn't fully understand why, but people were getting on his case that he had a conflict of interest by being both a tester for a game and also he didn't review it. Like he had the decency not to review the game, but his site, someone at the site did, and they still felt uncomfortable that he was still the one who edits and manages the site, so he politely stepped down. And for the most part, he was gracious about it. And I'm pretty sure like this is sort of like GamerGate trickle down effect, where like you're not just like IGN having an ethics policy, but we're even seeing these small, more independent sites being much more mindful with disclosures or people saying like, look, I'm going to step down from being a beta tester or step down from doing this article because of my connections with the company, and more people are doing that. And let's be honest, we've never seen anyone do that in the past.
Mm, mm. Most of the time, they generally just told you to piss off.
Yeah.
That was the sum up I got from when Dorito Gate happened. It was piss off. We don't care.
And now it's piss off. We don't care, but we're going to change our policies.
Well, yeah, totally not related.
Totally
Guys.
unrelated, yeah.
Unrelated. Has nothing to do with these guys, but we're gonna change them anyway.
No. And I said we're even seeing it with sites. Like I mentioned that site I mentioned earlier. They weren't like one of the hated sites or anything. I said it was just a small little blogging site that, if they fucking colluded somehow, I'd be surprised, and, and they still basically decided to do air quote the right thing. And you kind of go like, why? Gamergate was a pressure for it.
Definitely. You kind of you see it in other areas as well. I've noticed is that.
Oh yeah, just random threads, Steam. Even the Civ forums, I saw like some guy bringing up like something, and someone's going like, "Oh, not this whole bullshit again." And it's like, not bullshit at us, as in basically when people try to use the whole thing like this game might be sexist, people seem to be more open to counter it, saying like, "Oh, you know what? Fuck that article. Like that's bullshit."
Yeah, I mean, shit. You've even got people like Miles, Yai, and Chong saying, "Guess what? Guess who just called this game sexist? Hint: it's Polygon." Yeah, that was weird. Even he was saying, maybe this isn't sexist? I mean, how are you supposed to handle mature issues if you can't even talk about them?
Yeah.
Which was weird, because it was like, don't you realize what side you're a part of?
Meanwhile, Sean woke up in the morning. Maybe he went back to his old Nazi self or something. Yeah.
Maybe he became a shitlord again.
Yeah.
I did not see that coming.
But like when you look at this, like but I said when you look at these conversations, like in the past, usually you would have a bit of a debate going on, and usually the people who would go like fuck this sexist topic would get shouted down. But now it's more like you're only gonna have like one or two like tards going like, and literally everyone else is just like shut up, and then they move on. It's like it's a totally different shift in tones. And yes, I do frequent the Steam forums, as filthy as they are. Someone has to investigate. Ask G-Man. I once spent 3 days reading Maxime articles to see what their gaming section was like and write about it.
Oh yeah, that was in the advent of the whole SimCity debacle, where the only people defending EA was Maxime, I believe.
Yes. Oh yeah.
I'm gonna beat you. My lefty BFF read through Jonathan McIntosh's entire Twitter feed.
Holy! Oh my!
And the further he got, the more he said this guy is such a Stalinist.
I would trust your friend to know that more than myself. He's more left than I am, which is saying something. But yeah, he looked. I'm half convinced that he's still a troll. Because, like, Macintosh.
No, McIntosh believes what he says. Just look at his eyes. It's you can see it in the eye.
Yeah.
Like those are the eyes of someone that you're basically like alone in a room, tied. You wake up from like being drugged, and then that's the face hovering over you, and you realize it's like the last thing you'll see before you die.
Oh God, no. No, if that was the case, no. God, no. Please, no. And, oh yeah, that was a good point. What might explain Miles Iron Chung doing his conversion is the fact that he got excommunicated, basically. Him, SRS, and a couple of others. And free BSD as well. I don't know. It was some stupid thing that only SJWs would care about. Like some stupid, angels dancing on the head of a pin kind of deal.
As many as he wants to. That's the answer.
Project Offensive Huns.
Yeah, not
as
too.
Many as they want to. Sorry, as many as they want to. How many angels
Yeah.
dance on the top of a needle's head? As many as they want to.
So basically, what they did was someone else created a block bot for just them and a couple of others. Maybe all the followers as well. I'm not sure.
Oh god, I love the fact they use block bots. What the hell, guys?
Weaponized block bots is what I would say. They're doing it to themselves.
No wonder they think that there is no anti-GG. It's GG in the rest of the world. They use block box and hug boxes so much. They're like, yeah, the entire planet agrees with us. And no, I don't even think America agrees with you. Toronto, but...
Yeah, I think it was something over transgenderism, like some sin create towards that. God, if I know though. But yeah, I think the progress has been pretty good. I mean, I don't think I would have been quite so critical of left media, especially some of the British news sites, as I would have been without GamerGate and basically seeing from the other side, so to speak, exactly what happened,
It's an amusing thing you see when, like you saw it at the last American election and the recent British one, where all the sort of lefty Twitter types are all bemoaning the fact people they disagree with got elected. I didn't know anyone who voted for them.
Nobody I know voted for Nixon.
That seems to be largely what happened to Conservatives. No one I know voted for them, yet they still got in.
By the way, you as the owner of the stream, you can post links in the chat if you want to repost those Harlan Ellison links.
Of course, you'll have to forgive me as I try and figure out how.
Yeah, as well as the fuck Google ones.
Yeah.
It's why they're surprised why people get voted, and they seem to forget only I forgot what the U.S. is, but I think only about 40% of the population live in cities or something, or is it 55%? I forgot what the number is. I think it's below 50%. And they seem to forget, welcome to America. When you think San Francisco is America, no.
To these people, it may as well be.
Hey, San Francisco should be ashamed of these people. Emperor Norton would have driven them out of town on a rail, tarred and feathered.
I like that idea. I like that idea a lot.
It's like you get the same effect here in Quebec. You're in Montreal and you have a certain type of French Canadian and English Canadians that you see in downtown Montreal. Then if you drive out of Montreal, it's like the fuck. You don't even know where you are anymore. You're it's like everyone they even sound different when they talk.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that. It doesn't happen so much where I live, but I know it does happen in London. You basically go a couple blocks and it's basically an entire different place.
So I said these people live so much in a
I
hug
mean, that's
box.
because all the Muslims there, but yeah.
Oh. Yeah. But,
Yeah.
I am Governor Jerry Brown.
yeah.
That's a timestamp.
I wonder. It's just God.
Yeah, don't say God, you'll get shit. Apparently, something like that. Very weird. Anyway, moving it on. Where do you think? Like one of the issues I've heard with the whole SPJ thing is where it will sort of lead GamerGate. Is, as Furion likes to say, the whole ethics in games journalism was kind of a containment movement. It's basically one of the few ones our, shall we say, enemy has ever managed to do successfully.
I didn't understand what you meant.
The whole ethics in games journalism
Yeah.
has been is actually one of the few containment means, as he puts it, that has actually been effective. And I was just wondering, where do you see GamerGate in, say, 3 months' time?
Us laughing at the CSI episode.
Oh, CSI, yes, that'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
you know what's gonna happen. It's gonna fucking happen. Fucking Law and Order did it.
Oh, Law and Order. NCIS. CSI, but mostly BS.
Oh god. Oh god, the one where they basically tracking someone in Second Life, and then they're gonna take a chase to a bear. He's making a break for it, and the bear starts running. So they start chasing. There's a chase in an MMO, and then they're playing the chase scene music while the guy's holding a keyboard, chasing a bear in an MMO. I'm like, no, it's every time I see that clip, I just fucking crack up laughing. It's so fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, that was. Oh god, that was amazing. It's amazingly stupid, I should say. And, but no, 3 months time, I don't really expect us to have changed all that month. What will be interesting, I think, is where we will be in like 6 months time to a year's time. I haven't really got any ideas where we would eventually end up, but I suspect we'll either have branched out into more of a general ethics issue or a more of a focus on the whole culture war as a whole, or something along those lines. But I'm not sure where exactly we'll end up at the end. What are your thoughts on that?
My opinion, I think the weird thing is, as I said, we do the ethics, but at the end of the day, you mentioned culture war, and that's what's happening, is that there is a culture war going, and it's getting worse. If you just watch like what's happening elsewhere, right, not just in gaming. So I'm going like, I think that's going to sort of overtake GamerGate. Now, how GamerGate reacts to that,
Hard to tell.
and Skeptor has a video where he talks about under the iceberg, where he kind of goes like the ethics in game journalism. He's like, no, he's not denouncing it. He's saying like it's what GamerGate probably got started, but he's like it's the iceberg tip. He goes like all these gamers are pissed off because of something else. It's much deeper, you know. And he basically, you know, we all know what's under the water, you know.
Yeah. It's hard to tell though where it'll go eventually. It's kind of one of the problems. Like even people who have put in a lot of work on sort of shaping the narrative, shall we say, don't really know where it's going to go. They only have hopes.
I wouldn't want to guess anything until after this SPJ panel, and also after any court stuff that
Yes.
irons out with Aaron Joni and his possible 1 year gag order appeal, etc.
Hmm. Definitely. It'll be interesting to see how that goes, actually, because I'm not sure. When is that set for? I know it's coming up September time, I believe, is when his expires.
Supposedly, we still never got confirmation. I actually sent him an ask on his Tumblr, asking if the gag order was for 1 year or permanent.
Yeah, and as far as I'm aware, you never got anything in response to that.
Well, maybe he's not allowed to say.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
Yeah,
great.
the old joke. You can't. You have an NDA. What's in the NDA? Can't say. How long does it last? Can't say. You know,
Yeah.
the nature of the NDA is NDA.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Who the
Yeah.
fuck is Anita? Sorry, not Anita. Who the fuck is Zoe Quinn then? Is she like the fucking president of the Earth or something?
Basically.
Not true. Her boyfriend's father could sue you to the moon court, apparently.
Well, that remains to be the.
Even before the court thing, everybody was going, man, who is this chick that she can get 4chan to censor discussion?
Yeah, that is still very weird.
Well, I think it all stems from Moot attending the conference, doesn't it?
Yes.
Moot has to.
There's a simple Occam's razor example to it. Moot drank the Kool-Aid and he liked the taste.
Actually, from what I've heard, he's a more reasonable theory says that he is trying to sell the site.
I mean, yeah, he has to seem cool to his, New York startup Jews.
Exactly.
How could you sell it to anybody other than the folks at Rotten.com?
I don't know.
But yeah, he's trying to sell it off. But he still drank Kool-Aid. Now he could have a set business incentives to do so, but that was a way to basically, I guess, raise his air quote respectability. But
yeah, and as well as that, I hear he's actually a bit in deep with debt. Because what's the word for it? There was this I forgot the name of it, but he did some venture capitalism a couple of years back that basically collapsed.
Canvas.io or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, and apparently he
whatever it was.
Apparently a lot of money was dumped in there. Now I never heard what that money was about, but apparently.
Isn't this a common thread when we look at these people that are interconnected with the airport? I call them the opposition and not anti-GG. When we look at people in the opposition, they're always like they always have these weird pasts, like oh, they were a former rapist, or they covered up for a rapist, or they're fucking tax evasion, dodging, or failed venture. It's like what the hell,
Yeah, it's weird. They've got these weird pasts.
They make Dick Cheney look good.
Pretty much, they've got these really weird pasts that seem to come popping out the moment they come under any scrutiny.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the same goes for Moot, really.
Yeah. I mean, what else do you expect of a guy who, is trying to grow up and put 4chan behind him?
I think 4chan doesn't want to let him, though.
He'll be known for that forever. He'll be known for that until the heat death of the universe.
Oh, man.
Pretty much.
My favorite is the guy who...
The eternal truth is that Moot is a faggot.
No, I thought the eternal truth was that Mook was a cuck.
I like the... Yeah, I think I heard that one, too. I thought it was a YouTube
One
guy.
stems from the other.
He does it from, a mansion. Like, the guy looks very classy, but he's basically, saying, he is basically a fuck off to Moot, and it's a guy wearing a suit, speaks very proper, and it's you will be known as the man who destroyed 4chan,
Oh, I know exactly who you're talking about.
That was so beautiful.
Oh, I've forgotten his name. I think it's like Base Tyrone.
Oh yeah, yeah. The guy who
Oh yeah,
does
Tyro.
the guy who recites stuff for pay. God, if I had a voice like his, I'd do that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Base Tyrone was the one who said it, if I remember correctly. Yeah, that was pretty good stuff. I think Moot's gonna go down in history as the guy who created and killed 4chan, which is kind of impressive when you think about it.
Speaking of him drinking the Kool-Aid, God, I love the XOXO Fest photo where everyone in there is like fucking white. There's like one Chinese guy and he looks lost.
Yeah.
Like everyone else is clapping and the one Asian-looking guy is like looking around nervously.
He's wondering, am I in the right place?
It's looking like the one black guy who wandered into a clan meeting by mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
My favorite is the guys in the back taking notes. It's like, oh god, this is someone's classroom assignment. Jesus Christ.
Oh god. Yeah. No, I look at that and I just laugh. It's like 4chan became this thing, the boogeyman of the internet, and all they had to do was censor one particular topic and they lose that rep.
Yeah.
I mean, he also messed around with Poll and like
Yep.
there were a lot of problems with 4chan moderation that led to everyone leaving.
The Exodus.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there had always been problems, as I understand it. Like, what was that? The entire poll board got turned into Cuckland?
Yeah, it was beautiful, but it also rustled some jimmies.
Yes.
Well, just because we already covered the two main topics, I'm looking at the KIA front page, and the two most heavily upvoted stories currently, by far. One is the ugly history of Reddit CEO Ellen Pao and her husband Buddy Fletcher. The other one is where'd that go? Is sitting at about 1100 something, and is the friendly reminder that ABC News is now having a controversy about a reporter covering something they donated money to without disclosure.
Yes, I remember that.
Well, I guess NTGG had a point when they said, "Hey, journalism hasn't always been corrupt, so it's okay if we do it."
Yeah.
Oh Jesus! Sorry, I didn't even notice Meowstick Goes Nya posted that second one.
Ugh.
Full disclosure.
Yeah, full disclosure, she's got complete dickhead on my res tags now. Yeah. Only a few users actually have that, but she's one of them. After the shit she's caused.
Is she a circumcised dickhead?
Boy.
That is beyond me. Yes, but anyway, actually, the Reddit stuff has actually been kind of interesting because what was it, 3 or 4 posts? 3 or 4 posts.
How did this happen again?
Admin posts in the last month, if I remember correctly.
Something like that. How did this happen again? I just now noticed Oliver Campbell streaming right now.
I think they choose Saturday.
Right, that's probably it. Maybe if we're going to do a semi-regular thing, Sunday nights might be less trafficked by other people.
Yeah. Though I think Fearden does something Sunday, so I'm not sure if it's still going.
The agent broadcasts the command signal, so there's a command because hail Theodron.
He sends out
Hail
the clear.
Theodron.
He sends out the
Hail
clear
Theodron.
user command.
I remember that thread.
Which one, the hail Theodron one?
No, I'm just looking at a topic about 3 months ago. What is the end game goal of GamerGate? Interesting stuff, to be sure, but bit out of date at the present.
Okay. I'm curious because here, okay, this is a bit of Quebec lore though. That we had a singer who went completely insane once, and she was screaming that she's the queen of 4 seasons. It's a network, Quatre Saisons, and it's a bit of like everyone who lives in Quebec knows about that breakdown. And I was wondering what was GamerGate's version of someone an e-celeb breaking down and kind of like declaring themselves as the king of GamerGate. And I was just curious if we had and who it would be if it.
Oh, that's King of Paul, easy.
I thought that was Jace.
Jace or King of Paul, one or the other.
I must have missed Jace. I don't know who you were referencing.
The crazy one that's challenged Brianna Wu to a drag race.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, no, that's something else. It's something different.
Yeah. I mean, that was $1 Million Extreme pulling along.
Plus, also, he didn't have any reputation before the stunt, so.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he had a reputation afterwards either.
Well, not as anything more than a nutter.
He's from /K or something. That was what he was famous for.
Yeah. Of course, that was interesting enough to watch them turn their entire opinions of him around when he became useful to them.
Yeah. What's funny about that thing looks so fucking fake that it looked like Brianna Wu staged it herself. Like everything there, even the way he wrote is like, and it turns out that the guy was legitimately an insane guy. And I'm like, wait a minute, but if it sounded like Brianna Wu and this guy's legitimately insane.
I mean,
No, he's just a legitimate troll.
yeah, most people. It was, yeah.
It's a legitimate
Jace
troll.
was a troll, someone trolling. Yeah,
That's what it is. He's
not an actual insane person.
But I'm saying, okay, so it's a legitimate troll, and his trolling sounds like Brianna Wu, which means Brianna Wu is legitimately trolling people too. Sadly.
Or rather, her entire style is indistinguishable from trolling.
There we go. Yeah, I think that's probably the better way to phrase it. Yeah.
And I'm told that /K has actually apologized for Jace several times. So even they want nothing to do with that nutter.
No, I think our Michelle Shaw was King of Paul.
King of Paul or Jace, one or the other. Because I don't think.
That's not fair. We have apologized for Brian Adams repeatedly.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, but I look at it and I'm just reading what Split 16 posted. I'm just wondering if.
Oh, I thought you were sounding more intelligent than usual.
Ha! Screw you. No, not all of that stuff. I'm just looking at his 3-month-old post, seeing how much he called. And yes, actually, it seems to be largely accurate. I'm seeing the muddy outgrowths of exactly what he's predicted. You know, e-celeb drop-off, the replenishment rate being largely 1-to-1, but not entirely.
Were his predictions more accurate than Oswald Spengler's?
Yes. Yes, I'd say so. But some of it hasn't happened, some of it has. Yeah, I'd say it's fairly accurate, to be honest. overall. You know, basically, we hope we might end up seeing groups outgrowing, and we are to a certain degree of more of a general watchdog from GamerGate than just specifically for video games.
Yeah, like you said, most like Milo said a while back, we've said, most of the achievements in terms of disclosure are mostly to the point where they don't really need to go any further. They just need to be consistent and remain consistent. And from here, it would be nice to see them spread into wider areas.
Yeah, and in truth, GamerGate's lasting achievement is to just last now, because then they won't.
Basically, they can't. They can't. As I said, we achieved that part, so it's consistency now. And if I said if I think you said it, Watchdog. So if they get called out when they do it, and GamerGate's the one who's doing the calling out, that means GamerGate's presence will act as a deterrent. We're mad. Great.
Actually, just show up. Just keep showing up to the polls, like with the Hugo Awards, like with everything else.
Like we don't even need to be a big movement at this point. We just have to we could be subtle, like literally, as I said, the Hugo Poll Awards, or just like Anita publishes a video like denouncing some game being sexist, and then he's just like, just whispers on the wind in the distance,
If you are listening, Split, that is complete bollocks. You did not call sad puppies. You totally did not call sad puppies. And that is bollocks. But, moving it on.
So.
Yes. Sad puppies. When does the voting end?
Voting is going to be this summer. Let me double check the date on that.
Yeah.
You know what's probably going to keep GamerGate alive? And I said this back in September to someone. I think anti-GG is going to keep GamerGate alive. Because
no doubt.
I mean, under their bed.
That's the only reason it exists now.
I'm reminded of the Patriarchy comic.
Yeah, but the idea is that if we start getting bored and we do a fuck this shit, we'll go back to playing Vidya or something. And actually, we play Vidya while we're doing this, so it's not but anyways, to go with the metaphor, they basically would be they would suddenly feel the lack of attention and then do something stupid just to bring us out of the woodwork again.
Okay, I found it. Hugo Awards voting started May 1st. May Day. How appropriate. And the voting will remain open until July 31st, 11:59 Pacific.
There we go. I remember the comic now. I'm just gonna find it.
The question is to ask is, what do you think would be the next talk up from the opposition?
Likely some other completely unrelated and unpredictable event like Shirtstorm. Something where somebody will react and people will cover it breathlessly, and it will just spiral out of control.
Beachbody ready.
Oh man.
The only problem I have with all that is that we're claiming victories aren't really our own.
Yeah.
To some degree, which is.
Has actually GamerGate claimed victories for things like that?
I've seen stupid people do so, but it's a tendency I don't want people to pick up. Basically.
Well, you guys must have seen some of the dumb shit they were saying about Witcher 3. 4K, what was it, 400, 4K is not better than 720p.
My
favorite one, someone's complaining there's too many titties and asses. I'm like, have you played Witcher 1 and 2? What were you fucking expecting? They're not going to change now.
Yeah.
Every game needs to become Scythian.
Yeah. Oh god, that game is just so goddamn bland. I found the comic. It's Basically, it's a standard SJW. Basically, hearing a noise and thinking GamerGate's broken into a house, and that's basically it, isn't it? That's basically their opinion of us in a nutshell. Something bad happened, must be GamerGate.
That's how they keep GamerGate alive, because every time they dredge it up, it gets people out of the woodwork.
Yeah. Well, the ultimate solution to it would be just shut the hell up, but they can't shut the hell up long enough and for hard enough for it to work.
Oh, earlier when you were talking about Milo co-opting
Yeah.
GamerGate for his own purposes and such, really, Milo's biggest use of GamerGate is to troll for cute young boys.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's already using GamerGate, and he's already getting what he wants out of GamerGate. So he's there where he wants to be.
Dick, basically.
Got laid that very night.
That is just great. That is just
Unrelated topic.
back to
Milo
it.
should go back being brunette. That blonde hair, it just looks fucking ridiculous on him.
Not to turn into loose women, but I totally agree. It just looks weird.
Give a fashion show. Lose that shirt, Milo.
No, the rest of him is fabulous as always. It's just the hair. The hair does not look right.
No, when he first got the dye job, it didn't look right because he had these dark circles under his eyes. It looked like he's either wearing eyeshadow or he was getting not enough sleep. But now that those are faded a little bit, and it looks slightly less shocking blonde, it is not so unapropos.
But wait a minute. Summers is on the list, and she's going to go to the SPJ. It's because Summers usually tries to stay away from official capacity. So I find it interesting if she accepts it.
Well, that would be interesting. I'm not sure. They finalized. I haven't really watched too much of the stream. All I know is that they finalized the names. I'm not sure if they've asked people yet. Have they? I'm not sure because I would assume so, but well, yeah. But Milo needs to get rid of their blonde hair. Doesn't look right on him.
Well, if you sleep with him, I'm sure you can make the request.
Out of all of us here, I'm the one that is closest.
It's your job. It's your job to fuck Milo.
I mean, all
Okay.
Brits are homosexuals, so.
No, that's all upper class Brits.
Sure.
Get it right. It's the tops that are
Yeah.
into buggery. The lower class, not so much.
Oh, and I was at school, we used to line up 4 or 5 of his salt, make them fold over, and use them as a toast rack.
Pretty much. That's pretty much it. Remember, Remember, fag is a lower classman who acts as a servant for an upperclassman.
All I know is when a Canadian goes to Britain, they give us armored pants.
What's mildly worrying about that is that we never get any here. But yeah.
Okay. Now that we reached that level of shitposting, you might want to dial it back again.
So what do you want to talk about? One last topic before we turn off.
Checks Kia front page. Let's see. Boring, 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 boring.
Reddit. We could talk about Reddit. That's always
Oh god! Like I said, just the last 48 hours on Vote, the front page of Vote, they might as well rename it to Meanwhile on Reddit.com.
And, you should just get rid of salary negotiations, just because don't let it be.
actually it's worse than that. Basically they've said that they're going to turn Reddit into a safe space. Of course, they do this based off.
Repentance.
Which American university has a university, not a preschool, has a safe space that's like a room with Play-Doh, Lego, and a TV playing Frolicking Puppies. And I think it's the same university that played Paddington the Bear because American Sniper was triggering. And I'm like, this universe. I mean, I was in university like what 12 years ago. Like, did the university culture change that much in the last decade? God.
Wow, you're going to love this. The current front page of Vote. There are 4 stories that are not from the subvote Meanwhile on Reddit. 3 of those 4 are from the subvote Kotaku in Action.
So yeah, Reddit is a safe space. So they're gonna have Paddington the Bear as the official mascot of Reddit now.
Oh, I didn't even notice. And the one last of those 4 is a sticky announcement. Wow.
Anyway, what happens to Kotaku in Action if Reddit does become a safe space?
We'll probably. I wouldn't say we're not first on the chopping block, are we? That would be the Red Pill and men's rights.
Oh, really? Not Coontown?
Oh yeah, remember?
Not the Chimpire?
Yes. Yes, remember the type of people we're talking about here. These are people who are absolutely okay with black people Twitter, but not so much men's rights and the Red Pill.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Like, I mean, okay, Red Pill guys can get annoying, but I mean, like, they always go for the MRAs. It's like I feel so bad for those guys. You know, it's like they get beeline for it. Like, if you ever see them, they're like the most harmless looking people on the planet. You know.
Well, just like the cops find it easier to go after pot smokers than violent criminals.
Yeah.
I think you can follow my analogy.
Yeah, I'm following it too.
You're right though. You never see Coontown mentioned. Whenever you see, oh, what subreddit do you want to get killed, or what subreddit should die, or what is the worst subreddit? You never hear Coontown getting mentioned. But you do hear SRS and KIA.
And lately, Fat People Hate is getting a lot of
Yes, I've noticed that Fat People Hate is getting attention as well.
Well, we know that these people have picked up the crusade against fat shaming, so it's a new interjection to intersectionality.
Pretty much.
I mean, they don't go.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, they don't go after the openly racist subreddits because they're not going to care.
No.
That people hate or whatever is going to react against them.
Yeah, Coontown will just make the subreddit up again. They'll spread news through other channels and give it like a day or so. They'll be back.
Ooh, how about the Dark Enlightenment? Eutropius was shilling for the Dark Enlightenment.
I feel like they're not going to go for Tumblr in Action. I mean, it's pretty much their safe space, and there's an entire subreddit to making fun of Tumblr.
That will probably be on the list, but I suspect they've got more hatred for KIA somehow. Not sure.
Because KIA has way more subscribers.
Really? Let's check. No, Tumblr in Action has
yeah, right. Has about 10 times as many last time I looked.
200,000.
Okay, yeah.
Which is approximately 170,000 more than KIA has.
But for some reason, ever since KIA was made as the spin-off, it's the little brother that's fast approaching adolescence and getting ready to beat up dad.
Yeah, that's pretty much true. But I suspect I kind of actually want Reddit to start purging these communities though, just because it'd be great, You don't get rid of
purging MRAs.
If they try to purge men's rights in the Red Pill, then everybody in the war, everybody is going to be asking them why they didn't go after Coontown and the Chimpire first.
And then they'll be then if they do, they'll be asking why don't you go after the SRS and the openly illegal ones?
And it's sort of like a bit of a Pandora's box.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna misquote you out of context there, G. You want Reddit to start banning these sites because you want a safe space to feel comfortable in, right? That's your quote, right? That's what I'm writing you down for here.
Okay, feel free.
Alright.
No, it's not to feel safe space. I just want to see the fire. I literally just.
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
Pretty much.
Happening when?
Light the match.
Yeah, I'm not sure how you could push them into doing that, but I want to see what happens when they try doing that. It'll be the PC Master Race fiasco all over again, but times 10.
Oh yeah, the PC Master Race.
Well, the more they talk about, the more you get all this media attention, and the more the Twitter and Reddit and etc. Try to quote unquote crack down on essentially things that are uncrackdown-onable. It's just a question of when they will make the next move and how big of a step they will try to make at once.
Yeah, that's the thing that'll be interesting. Is in that Reddit the second admin post, or is it the third? If you ever mentioned the CEO, you got an immediate shadow ban. That was it, wasn't it? It was, you could basically paste this copy pasta and it would just shadow ban you immediately.
Oh god, how do these people sleep with themselves? How do they sleep at night? You know what gets me? No, this is like my pet peeve with all of this, is they do all this nonsense and then they act like they're morally right. Like when you listen to them talk, they honest to God, like, not to pick on Christians, but those like super hardcore Christians who think they're gonna go to heaven, but then they start saying shit like "kill those bitches," and you're like, what? Did you read your own fucking Bible, bitch? And it's like these people, like, they're kind of like that, they do all this, like, it's that shadow ban. They're all like so authoritarian and everything. But on the flip side, like when they talk, they acting like they're moral high ground.
Wrong. Right
What?
side of history.
Oh yeah, the wrong. Yeah, that fucking. I hate that fucking quote when they use it. I keep telling them, like, who said that and what happened to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just like bringing up that Mein Kampf quote about social justice.
I've never heard that law formalized, that if you want to see how racist something is, just swap the words around.
I'm personally like Sargon's law, where if an SJW makes an attack of your character, is usually making a personal observation of themselves, and usually the attack can be used to describe the person in question.
People are usually most repelled and disgusted by the traits in others that they most fear in themselves.
Yeah. Sure.
Last point to make, I think, most of these people, they're upperclassmen. They're upper class. Even in America's classless society, so to speak, they're all upper class. They're all well off, rich. I mean, Brianna Wu is trust fund baby.
Yeah, and they want to fight for the little guy. I love this. G knows my background, and I could say, G could attest what I'm about to say is accurate. As a little guy, I can tell them, "Fuck off! I don't want you to represent me. Screw you."
Man, as always, nobody represents me.
Exactly. I choose who represents me, and I didn't choose you. Go away.
Yeah.
I know my hardcore leftist buddy would like to give Macintosh a piece of his mind.
He wants to reclaim the leftist title.
I still can't believe he read his entire Twitter feed. Like,
That is some
he's
that is
hurting
some
you.
serious grade autism right there.
I would ask your leftist, but if he's not slowly turning right, it's just like at the virtue of seeing another lefty being like that, you'd be like, yeah, I don't want to be left anymore. Fuck this shit.
Well, like I said, I keep wanting to get him on for a chat, but like I said, we've had this discussion before. It's crazy how, he will be more open talking about voting fraud and 9/11 than he would be talking about Gamergate.
Yeah,
He's afraid of anti-Gamergate crazies.
which is interesting and scary all of its own. Yeah,
I don't know how Gamergate can be such a scary thing. Oh god, I gotta share this story. It's a short one with you guys. I had a friend. I'm not gonna go to the full background. I want to keep this short. And he basically discovered I was Gamergate, and he's not really my friend anymore because it's his fault. He stopped calling me, but apparently he started talking my back, and he was trying to tell all my friends I'm a Gamergater. It backfired because even the people that are SJW-ish went, Ed's part of Gamergate? Man, I must have the wrong opinion of Gamergate.
yeah, that was great.
Odd. Whereas what happened with me was, I knew it wouldn't be a good idea to discuss it with one of my friends, and made the mistake of doing so recently. And then he's like, "Yeah, I didn't know we had a don't talk about Gamergate rule, but it's probably a good idea." I was like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure you could have guessed my opinion that we agree on a number of things."
I know a couple of people who I can't talk about it, but thankfully we're not really close. Like, just acquaintances, basically.
As I said, like, obviously those guys who said that are not going to suddenly stop being SJWs, but, they kind of, like, they know me so well. They're like, no, Ed's not going to be part of a hate movement. So, it's like, yeah, something's not adding up. And they know it's not me. That's the part that's not adding up.
Yeah, it doesn't exactly make sense. Oh, it's kind of sad though. That isn't the only time I've heard that story. At least not just from you either. I've heard it from tons of different people.
Anti-GG friends who suddenly turn on them, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, for 10 years, how can it be? Like, I don't get him. Like, I'm not surprised by the actions of my friends who start to doubt their narrative. But this guy, he's been friends with me for 15 years, and it's like, so you're gonna believe the opinion of people you met 6 months ago over the guy you known for 15 fucking years?
About some silly internet drama about video game journalism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that person that he's believing, like, he barely known them 6 months. It's his professors. I'm just gonna say this part. He's a Digua recruitee. So it's like, wow, you meet these people 6 months ago, and somehow, like, 15-year-old friendship, like, no momentum, not so whatsoever. What was I doing for 15 years? Pissing in his face? I don't know. Should have told me, like, dude, stop pissing in my face. I don't appreciate it. It's gonna backfire one of these days.
Apparently so. Apparently so.
That's why I think the Kool-Aid has magical powers. It's the only thing I can explain.
Pretty much, that's pretty much the university system. Thankfully, I am in a STEM course, and I just don't give a shit about university politics.
I think maybe that's why I didn't notice this in my university. I was also in a STEM field, so I was in the STEM hippie field, so that's fucking twice weird.
Mm-hmm.
The STEM field that runs around in forests, tripping on trees, and running away from bears.
Anyway, it's nearly 4 o'clock here, so if you want to just finish up, and then I'll close it off.
Oh, nicely done, yeah. Well, this didn't feel forced to fill up time as much as last time.
More people, I suspect. It's
Well, I guess
easier to do.
I guess 4 instead of 3 makes a big difference, and I think anything more would be pretty unwieldy.
Mm.
Yeah, it's like tabletop gaming. 3 to 4 players is like the best.
Yeah. Is that including or excluding a GM?
It depends on the GM.
Hmm.
Some GMs count as a player. Some GMs somehow you can consider them as a non-identity. It depends on the person. Both have their pros and cons.
Fair enough. No, I don't think I have anything else to say. Do you guys?
No.
I think it's been a good evening.
Yeah. All right, guys. I guess that's it for now. Thanks for joining us, guys. We'll see you on IRC or whenever we see you.
All
Stuff
right.
and broadcast.
Bye.